What's going on, guys? Got a full table for you today. Today, I wanted to talk to you guys about inspirations, where ideas come from, and then what you feel like when you are able to achieve your ideas. So, on the table are all of my models that I make. So I base this off of the pocket knife world, where you have brands and they have different model names and they release those models in different colors and varieties, etc. Well, I kind of built upon that in my designing brain and being able to draw and do things like that. Not that I can draw, but drawing knives, maybe I'm pretty good at, or coming up with ideas. And looking at a pocket knife and maybe pulling a blade shape or a handle shape that I find comfortable, and then putting that down on paper and then creating something like a wooden blank. So basically, I'm just drawing it out on wood, cutting it out on this thin piece of plywood. I had a bunch of it laying around the house, so I started, I just used what I had, and I created a wooden blank. And from that wooden blank, I can then create that idea and turn it into a workable actual blade. Now, I've been now making these knives since the beginning of this year. So I only started this year. So I'm not even a year into it right now. So I am in no way a master. I am in no way an expert. I am in no way anything other than a hobbyist. It is a hobby that I enjoy. I enjoy being able to create something with these two hands. I love being able to take what started out as a drawing, create something that's tangible, like a wooden blank, and then turning around and turning that into an actual working blade and something that can actually be used. For me, that is huge. So you don't know me, I don't know you, but one thing that you need to know about me is, I suffer from a lack of self-confidence. And one of the things that I do is I like to be able to create things. So on the table are an example of all of the models and things that I make. Every single one. I actually happen to have them here at the shop, and an example of each one of the models, except for two that I just came up with. So this is another idea that I had. Basically, it's my rock hopper, but I've rounded the edge to maybe in more of a sheep's foot, I guess, blade. I don't want to get into that argument with what blade shapes are, but it's more of a sheep's foot blade. And then this one over here, which is taking the bloom, which is this knife, my knife, and maybe rounding the edge and creating a different blade shape with that. But I just basically did these like this week, so not ready to be able to make. Plus, I ran out of steel, so I have to purchase more steel. So I got to work on that. But for me, when I can take a drawing and then create an idea, and the idea is full encompassing with the name of the knife and what it's going to look like and how it's going to feel and everything else, everything from my obsession to the mini obsession, where you have the same blade shape but it's super small, 3 fingers, fits in your hand. For me, if you're opening boxes, cutting strings, maybe a zip tie at the tops, if that's what your daily cutting needs are, why do you need a big blade like this to do that? You really don't. You really don't. So for me, on a daily basis, these sizes and these shapes are going to fit into anything that you need. So I have like my pedal. It's a small version of the bloom, basically. And I don't, why would you need anything more than this on a daily basis? On a daily basis, you could throw that in your pocket. You have your sheath that you can wear it on your hip, or like I like to wear all of my knives, usually is front horizontal carry. They disappear. You don't even know they're there. Most people don't even know you're carrying it, but it's really quick and easy. Whenever you need it, you pull it out, you make your cut, whatever it is. For me, on a daily basis, I'm cutting boxes, I'm cutting bags, I'm cutting, maybe breaking down a box at the tops. Why do I need a 6-inch Bushcraft Bowie to do that? I don't. So these are all ideas come to life, and it really makes me feel good. And for me, where I am, there's not a big knife community. So that's why I share with you guys, because I really don't have anybody else to share with. I love my wife, but she looks at it and she's like, yeah, it looks like another knife. Very good, baby. And for me, I'm like, okay, great. But I kind of want more than that. So that's why I share with you guys. Anything from like the gargoyle here. I just finished this one last week, or this week. Turned out really cool. It's one of my naked designs, where I call them naked because they don't have any scales. So it turned out really cool. But she doesn't get excited over it because she's not a knife person. And here in the Central Florida area, I guess I don't really have a big knife community. I've tried to reach out. I've tried to talk to some people, and they're really not interested. Most knife makers have a person that they can go to and talk to, kind of like a mentor. And honestly, I don't really have that. I don't really have a mentor. I've just kind of been teaching myself how to do it. And I gotta say, it could be worse. It could be a lot worse. I'm creating designs that I like, and that's all that really should matter for me. And this is an experience that I'm learning, and I enjoy that process. This is the naked column. So I have the column and the naked column. So it's just the same, except different blade shape and no handle material. But for me, it takes a great amount of pride for me to finish every knife that I make and I put into these blades. I know maybe a master bladesmith will look at it and say, well, it's really not perfect. You have all these flaws, you have all this, you have all that, and that's fine. But they're handmade. One day I'll have to show you guys a tour of my shop. I really don't have a lot of tools. I don't have a CNC machine. There's no laser cutters. Everything is done with these two hands and basic cutting and grinding materials. So I just wanted to share this with you guys. Talk to you a little bit about it, what my motivations are, and share some of the knives that I have made, that I am going to be making, and an idea of what it is. So if you don't mind, please check me out at Etsy. I'll put the link in the description below. Follow me on Instagram at AriesEDC. And please like, subscribe, leave a comment, or not. That choice is yours. Thanks, guys.